In the realm of reality television, the moments that are filled with intense emotions and tension are frequently the ones that attract the most viewers. They have a strong need for the drama, the suspense, and the unforgettable confrontations that seem bigger than life. One such dramatic incident occurred during the debut of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13, when Rasheeda Frost and Yandy Smith were involved in a violent argument. Rasheeda smacked Yandy in this episode, which caused a stir in the Love and Hip Hop franchise and sparked discussions among fans and online. This moment was a crucial milestone in the show's long history. In this 2,000-word investigation, we will examine the context of this event, the build-up to it, the aftermath, and the impact it had on the series. The backdrop: Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and its history of drama. For a long time, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta has been known for its dramatic storylines, larger-than-life personalities, and jaw-dropping confrontations. It was one of the first spin-offs of the original Love and Hip Hop series, which started in New York. The spin-off premiered in 2012. On the other hand, Atlanta added a new flavor to the franchise, which was laced with Southern charm, hip-hop culture, and a mix of recognized personalities from the music industry, especially those who were trying to navigate their relationships and career ambitions. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta has had several memorable moments of high tension and confrontation between cast members throughout the years. The show has provided a multitude of great moments that have become part of the history of reality television, from clashes between exes to the clashing of egos. However, the slap that occurred between Rasheeda and Yandy in Season 13 was different. It was not simply a fight, it was the result of years of competitiveness, personal betrayals, and unresolved tension between these two strong women. Rasheeda Frost, a successful rapper and businesswoman, has been a key player on the show since it first started. She is recognized for her determination, financial savvy, and commitment to her family, particularly her long-lasting marriage to Kirk Frost. Rasheeda's character development on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta has frequently been on her personal growth as she deals with the highs and lows of her job and relationships. On the other side, Yandy Smith is a well-known manager and entrepreneur who has connections to some of the most famous people in hip-hop. She became well known for being Jim Jones's manager and eventually became a regular cast member on the Love and Hip Hop New York series. Yandy made her first appearance in Season 13 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, when she brought her extensive expertise and determination to the show. She rapidly became a powerful presence in the cast because of her fiery independence and her readiness to defend herself. The catalyst: creating tension between Rasheeda and Yandy. Although Rasheeda and Yandy were both very successful in their own ways, they had not interacted with each other very much in the Love and Hip Hop universe. However, as Season 13 started, it was obvious that their encounter would not be a calm one. The two ladies had a tumultuous history, since their personal and professional lives were intertwined. When Yandy first arrived on the set of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Rasheeda was doubtful and did not seem to welcome her. She wondered whether Yandy's decision to come to Atlanta was a strategic move to take advantage of the city's flourishing music industry, or if she really intended to grow her business in the South. As Rasheeda started to hear tales about Yandy's behavior when the cameras were not rolling, her skepticism of Yandy increased. Yandy, for her part, had a history of becoming engaged in fights, not only with other women, but also with people who questioned her motives or ability. As the confrontation approached, tensions increased as both ladies were placed in positions that forced them to collaborate, resulting in personal conflicts. Yandy's presence on the show was becoming more and more annoying to Rasheeda, who had a long history of being outspoken and taking her own. At the same time, Yandy's need to prove herself on a new stage, and her dedication to do so, prompted her to challenge Rasheeda, who she believed was an experienced veteran in the Love and Hip Hop scene. Two ladies with very different views to the entertainment industry were at the center of the fight. Yandy's business-oriented way of thinking was in direct opposition to Rasheeda's dedication to her family, her town, and her heritage. The two women frequently had conflicting personalities when they interacted with each other in different social situations. Rasheeda thought Yandy was being arrogant because of her assertiveness, while Yandy thought Rasheeda was being overbearing because of her protective attitude. Because of their differing personal ideas, it became more and more challenging for them to live together in harmony in the same social and professional circles. The Showdown, the slap that was heard throughout the franchise. Rasheeda and Yandy met at an event that was supposed to be a networking opportunity, but it rapidly turned into turmoil. It was at this occasion that the two women finally confronted each other. The event was planned as part of the ongoing drama on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Its purpose was to create opportunities for cast members to interact with each other while also generating tension. As Rasheeda and Yandy argued, the atmosphere became increasingly tense and hostile. The tension that had been building up for several episodes finally reached its peak. As the two women exchanged insults, their voices grew louder, and they each questioned the other's integrity and motives. Rasheeda accused Yandy of crossing the line, but Yandy responded by accusing Rasheeda of being hypocritical and unprofessional. It didn't take long for words to become actions. Rasheeda struck Yandy across the face in an instant, unable to hold back her rage. The slap was a surprising and visceral event that symbolized how deeply personal their rivalry had grown. It was also a dramatic conclusion to everything that had been building up between the two women. The smack echoed not just in the room, but throughout the entire Love and Hip Hop series. The audience was struck speechless, and the scenario quickly became a hot topic of discussion on social media. Both fans and detractors expressed their opinions about the altercation on social media channels such as Twitter and Instagram. While some people admired Rasheeda for defending herself, others slammed her behavior as an improper outburst. In the same way, Yandy's followers were eager to come to her defense, criticizing Rasheeda for resorting to violence to resolve their disagreements. Aftermath: the consequences and responses. The consequences of the slap were felt right away and were extensive. Rasheeda and Yandy both had to deal with the consequences of the fight. The slap had a significant impact on Rasheeda's reputation. Rasheeda is one of the most regarded cast members on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and her actions were examined from every possible perspective. Fans began to speculate whether her behavior was a sign of deeper frustrations in her personal life, which brought her marriage to Kirk back into the public eye. Yandy, on the other hand, found herself in a more complex situation. Some viewers felt sorry for her and thought of her as a victim of Rasheeda's hostility, while others wondered if Yandy was just trying to create drama by becoming involved in the argument. Yandy was a newcomer to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and she was supposed to fit in with the established dynamics of the program. However, her conflict with Rasheeda hampered her relationship with the rest of the cast. It was obvious that this was not a one-time fight, but rather a long-standing feud that would probably continue to unfold throughout the season. The impact: a new era for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. The slap that occurred between Rasheeda and Yandy was a significant event in Season 13 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It indicated a change in the way the show would deal with drama. Instead of relying only on the personal issues of the established cast members, the show would now include new people like Yandy, who brought her own set of challenges and tensions to the table. Yandy's entrance to the group brought a new level of tension and unpredictability, forcing the ensemble to deal with problems that they would have otherwise chosen to ignore. The event between Rasheeda and Yandy showed how reality television is always changing, especially when you consider the greater backdrop of Love and Hip Hop. What started out as a normal competition turned into a legendary moment that would be remembered for years to come in the history of reality television. It was a perfect example of the unvarnished and unpredictable nature of reality television, where anything may happen and emotions can run high. Although the slap may have been a brief outburst, it had long-term effects on the characters who were engaged. The two ladies would continue to manage their complicated relationships, and the audience would follow their journey, eagerly anticipating the next chapter of their story. Ultimately, the slap was more than simply a dramatic display. It was a representation of the power dynamics, unresolved tensions, and competing personalities that make Love and Hip Hop Atlanta a unique program. It highlighted the complicated nature of relationships in the worlds of hip-hop and reality television, where alliances are tenuous, egos are large, and the stakes are always high. For fans of the franchise, this event would go down in history as one of the most unforgettable scenes in Love and Hip Hop.